connection. We'll really embrace this moment. It's the first box at a tournament. Hundreds of thousands of people lined up to watch the DOD King. They call out my name. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, CVA Golf, the DOD King. You know how we rock on this channel. We are getting right into this video. Today, we're doing a range session. This is going to be very different than your typical YouTube range session where people tell you how to swing, yada, yada. Today, I'm going to tell you how I practice and how I have learned over the years what works and what doesn't work for me. Hopefully you can implement it into your game. Let's rock and roll. All right. How are we gonna put this? Hold on. Let's have DOD King out right there. You know what I'm saying, Stoney? That's still crazy to me. Life is a trip. The number one thing that I have learned over the years is that when I'm practicing, I never, to this day, focus on results, ever. For me, the only thing I'm trying to accomplish out of it, I have my goals, whatever I want to fix with my swing, work on it, distance, whatever. When I'm working through swing detailing and changes, all I want to make sure I'm doing is the right body movements. I could really care less where the ball's going because I'd rather have the ball going where it needs to go on the golf course, not here. I want my body moving right here. I tend to over-exaggerate it so that when I'm on the course, I don't have to think. When you're going through it and you're going through like swing work, etc., and I'll explain it as I go, the biggest thing for me is that I will not care if I'm chunking it, shanking it, thinning it at all, as long as I'm doing the proper body movement every single time. You can control every single rep on the range. For me, that's the biggest thing. So going into this range session, I'm gonna be working on a couple things. At the very beginning, all I wanna work on is my takeaway, keeping it very simple. For me, what that looks like, I have this connection right here between my jacked bicep and tricep and my chest right here. All I'm trying to feel is this stay connected right here. I can care less about the club, yada, yada. I want to keep this connected as I go through and maintain my spine angle. My tendency is this will get disconnected and then I stand up, okay? So when I really can focus on this simple movement here and just maintaining my spine angle, everything is set up in a perfect spot. So I'm gonna hit 10 wedges. This is my 60-degree blue finish T24 Mizuno. How about it? It's really good. All I'm gonna be focused on is that takeaway. I might chunk it, shank it, thin it. I could care less. Let's rock and roll. Hope you guys are enjoying this style video. Let us know in the comments if you want it. I like doing this stuff and sharing my knowledge with you guys as I'm improving on this journey. I want to take you guys with me. So I wanted to give a shout really quickly to the sponsor of this video and one of my favorite sponsors to work with, Fabeletics, the cleanest, meanest, stylistic clothes. I just came up with that. Fabeletics should hire me for the board advertisements. Kevin Hart, hit me up. The May edition is what I'm wearing right now. The color of these matches the tan, the flow, the mullet, the simplistic style is what I love. It's what I love in my game and my clothes. Honest to God, I don't work with many people, and Fabeletics are specifically who I wanted to work with because good people and good quality clothing and product. That's it. I try to keep it as simple as possible. These are clean. Go check them out. The link is going to be in the description. They are the sponsor of this video. And I love you guys, Fabeletics. Kevin Hart, what's up, baby? Let's get back into it. All right, Now that is 10 shots. The accomplishments of that gets a nice tempo for the day, control of the club head, and it really focuses on the fundamental foundation of the swing, which is the beginning, the takeaway. So I feel good about that. I rep that out every single day. Switch up the clubs every now and then, but that is the basics of what I'm doing with the takeaway. The exaggeration of that feeling, it gets me in a great spot right here, and from there I just rotate and go. Keeps it very simple. Moving on. All right, next up, connection. Very important. For me, I'll grab a 9, 8 iron, something like that, right after I'm done with my takeaway work. Pause. Anyway, scratch that. Okay, hold on. So my flaw in my backswing, or a tendency of mine, should I say, is that I tend to keep this right arm very straight, and then kind of late it sets. It causes an overswing, miscontrol of the club. I'm trying to have full control of this club head the entire time. For me, I do it very simple. I try to keep everything I do with my swing as simple as possible. Is this right arm stays connected with this towel, and I'll almost try to very exaggerate the bending of that, right? It's not gonna look like this in the full swing, but for me, it gives me that feeling and teaches my body to stay connected with this right arm, because as soon as that comes up, towel comes out. So I'll hit half shots with this. I'll hit about 6 to 10 shots with my 9 iron, just hitting those half shots, and I'll take the towel off and still try to feel that without the towel. Let's get into it. All right, so that is gonna be 6 shots with the towel, and I'll hit 4 without it, trying to feel that same thing. A big factor in what I'm trying to exaggerate here with that connection is keeping this club away from my body. Width, essentially, I think is what they call it. Because when I start to get loose here, when I'm starting to late set, body's getting tired, whatever, it's very hard to control it. This club's gonna get stuck, and you're gonna start flipping it, and it's really gonna be a timing issue. For me, I'm trying to eliminate any and all margin of error. Okay, so a key thing when I'm thinking about this, just some like simple thoughts, is with this right arm connected to my torso, I'm trying to keep width in my swing. From there, I have so much control. I can hit it cut, draw, low, high, and hit any shot in the world. So with these 4, I'm really exaggerating, thinking I still have that towel there while maintaining width. So that really concludes the backswing work, should I say. Just to go over that again, the things that I'm working on currently. This takeaway right here, feeling very connected here. Soft right arm and width. If I keep it that simple, the golf swing, for me, on the course is something I don't have to think about. To go back over kind of what mentally, because everybody's gonna be different, right? So you guys are gonna need to work on your own swing. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to work on because I have no idea, and I'm not a coach. This is just what I've learned as a player, is really exaggerate it, whatever you're trying to feel, so you can move that needle on the golf course. You don't have to think about it on the golf course. You can just black out, play G, which is very important. So you can just think about how to get in your opponent's heads, yada, 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 move that needle. If you can do those things as a player and just not care about the result at all, I promise you, your game is going to skyrocket. I would say the number one thing that I work on the most is my lower body movement through transition. If you guys watch closely and you know the golf swing, you know one of my tendencies, because I got so much swing power and horsepower in these thick legs, is that I just really jump at it and go. Okay, when I was younger, I was 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds nothing, soaking wet. So to move the golf ball, I would literally just throw my body at it. And so now I'm fighting that, because it was ingrained into me as a kid. This is the way I swung, is now I have that to, you can't really hit a golf ball from that position. So for me, it's a lot of timing, and it's also a lot of balance and control here. Okay, so I do a lot of work in the gym on here, and the mobility in those sections, so that when I get to this course, I'm in a properly loaded position here. And the biggest thing for me to feel is that I clear back not forward, right? When I do that, that's when the flips come in. When I'm clearing really well, I'm swinging really well, and nobody can beat me. So when I get into this, what I truly feel is an exaggerated squat. As soon as I get to the top of the swing here, I feel like I almost squat into my body and then clear. And so when I feel like that clearing motion, if there was like plywood sticking out of the ground right behind my leg, when I squat, I try to snap that plywood and make it fall back. So that's really what I'm trying to feel. This is hilarious because when I get into this stuff, I'll start shanking, thinning, chunking, like everything. Who knows on the day, but as long as I'm doing the right feelings here, I know I'm doing it well. Let's go. All right, that right there is about 30 golf shots for me as I'm in season and preparing for tournaments, for War Against Weasels, for everything. That's pretty much all the swing work I'm doing. From there, that's like 30 golf balls. From there, I might hit 70 to 100 of just visualizing shots that I see on the golf course, distance, numbers, and going through my pre-shot routine every single time. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, but that's the swing work that I'm doing. We'll get into the driver and just so like we can go through that. Obviously you guys want to know, so let's get into that. As you guys know who watched the Mizuno fitting video, signed with Mizuno, which is a trip. Like I was tiling bathrooms at this time last year, so to say that I'm working with a club company is a dream come true. Mizuno's the best. So you guys watched the fitting video. I'm using an ST Max 9.5 degree. Okay, sometimes I keep it at standard, sometimes I lower it down to 7.5, depends on the golf course and the wind on the day. The shaft is a Ventus TR7X Fujikura, and it's sick. So everybody wants to know how I train the DoD. It's the most asked question. How do I practice it? How do I get better at it? The truth is, this is the one club, like the 3-wood and the driver, that I never work on my swing, ever. Not once. For me, it's the one shot where every single time, that dude almost just hit me, where every single time, keep that, where every single time, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I don't practice the driver through it because every single time I walk up to it, it's the one shot on the golf course where I literally just black out and I don't think about anything. If I have it on the day, I have it, and I always have it, so that's pretty cool. But with this, all I see is shots, and I'll just hit shots with the 3-wood and driver. I'll see fairways, I'll see holes on different courses, especially ones that I'm about to go play. I really try to get deep into the visualization of it and really like feel in my heart and my soul and my body and the flow of the mullet, what I'm gonna feel like on that. So if I'm going to the first box of the day in a tournament, I know there's gonna be people out there, I know there's gonna be pressure. I try to really sit back here, see the hole, try to feel the pressure where my heart's beating, and really just fully embrace that on the golf course. Everybody always complains about they're not able to take their swing from the range to the golf course, and that's just because they're out here like mindless robots trying to work on exaggerating feels and stuff like that, but when they're not working on golf. So for me, I end every single range session with hitting shots, visualizing shots, and truly feeling on the golf course, and that's the only way to get better. So, driver swings. All right, so let's go through some shots with the driver off the deck, okay? This one will be kind of a low stinger if it's a very firm fairway and there's a lot of wind in the face. This is how I do it. Perfectly executed. Now we'll do a stinger draw. Cool. All right, we'll go into the high shot now. Let's rock and roll. The variables are they're not exaggerated too much. If I want to hit a stinger, I put it a ball back. I kind of hit that weight forward on it. And then with the full shot, it's just in standard, and the high shot, it's one ball more. I try to keep it very, very simple. Don't change too much. This one's gonna be in the front of my stance. I'm gonna just try to hit a high straight one. So that's the low cut, the low draw, the high shot. We'll just go stock shot here. We'll do this one for the people. We'll really embrace this moment. It's the first box at a tournament. Hundreds of thousands of people lined up to watch the DoD King. They call out my name. And we go.